Labor Day coming up, so get your athletics together. That's all I'm gonna say because we will be outside. Okay. With that being said, we're gonna hop right back into a music break. When we come back, I will have my special guest. Let's talk about some national holidays, what's coming up this weekend, and what you can expect from 101 TKO Radio, knocking out the box. One TK Radio, we are back in the building. Happy Friday Eve. It's your girl, I am Chelsea Speaks, and I'm back with a very special guest. Listen, if you live in Atlanta, you know to be in the industry or to even be a key player in this industry, you have to know certain people and you have to be known by certain people. And the only way you really become successful in this industry is through your relationships. So when I thought about this particular guest, I thought about someone who I've actually seen him before at some other events, but at the time I had not had a chance to meet him personally. But you can't forget his backdrop because, and I know he's heard it before. So you know what? I'm gonna cut to the chase and get straight to it. You guys, without further ado, welcome my very, very special guest, K-SWAB in the building.
What's up, what's up, what's up? Well,
Hey, K.
well, you already know what it is. Happy to be here with Chelsea Speaks. So today, Chelsea gonna speak. I'm gonna speak as well. You know how we do. It's more than a pleasure to be here.
I'm excited. Listen, I saw you at a few events before, but I think it was in past. And you know how it is in media. When we lock the events, it's like you won't go. And so it's interesting to sit down with you again and have this conversation. So I'm grateful that you made the time to be here. You got a lot of big things going on. So I'm excited to dive into this conversation. So before we do that, we're going to play a little game. You ready?
Okay, let's go.
All right, so we got to warm you up. The way this works, I'm going to ask you 3 questions, and you have to answer as honestly as you can, no matter what the answer is. I don't care what it is. So you ready? And you only get 3 to 5 seconds to answer.
Cool, man.
All right, first question. Who was your all-time celebrity crush?
All-time celebrity crush was Monica back in the day.
Really? With the big white shoes before you walk out of my life?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Second question. If you could have chosen any other career other than what you do now, what would it be and why?
The only other career I would have chosen, well, I do have multiple careers, but the only other career I would have chosen is logistics.
Really?
Yeah, and I do have a logistics company. So
okay, planning and all that stuff?
Yeah, well, named Skylar Logistics after my 5-year-old daughter, of course.
Okay, I love that. Skylar, that's beautiful. Shout out to her.
Yes,
okay.
Salute.
And that actually leads to our next question.
Okay.
What's your favorite position?
Favorite position in reference to
however you want to answer
football,
it.
baseball, basketball, linebacker, forward, shooting guard, doggy style, missionary, one of the above.
You know what? I love that question because it just shows how human we all are. Because most people, I don't think about a sex position up top, but like you said, it depends on what perspective and what type of position you're talking about. So give them a round of applause for getting that right, because some people be like just stuck when I ask that question. Like pastors, they be like, on my knees in the pulpit. Wait a minute. Listen, so K-SWAB, you've been around the city, ATLONFIYA, and then some, but you have quite an extensive history, starting back in New York. So I'm curious, when did you get to Atlanta?
Originally I got to Atlanta back in '90.
Okay.
So I've been here forever.
Were you here for Freaknik?
Yeah, Freaknik.
You was there?
I was performing every Freaknik, 7 shows per Freaknik, riding around the city.
Really?
Riding around the city, getting it, all day long.
So were you on the Hulu special? You think you might have been on that special somewhere?
I hope not. Thank you for blurring out my face. Thank you for blurring out my face. What do you mean?
So I know you wear many hats, but for those that are just meeting for the first time and supporters, can you just give us a rundown of all the many hats you wear as K-SWAB?
Hi, as K-SWAB, I am the executive producer of the TV show ATLONFIYA. It's currently on about 7 different streaming platforms now, Roku and Fire Stick. Salute to Tubi. I just got a nice deal.
Yeah, Tubi coming up.
Tubi is, they want my whole season, so I'm like, okay, cool, I got you. So I do it all. I shoot, I write, I produce, I engineer, I do the soundtrack, I write scripts for people. I also have, again, like I was just referencing, logistics company. It's actually a pet transportation company.
Pet transportation. I got a pet I'm trying to transportate. I don't
want
want it back though. Tell them to let me.
You don't want it back?
I don't want it.
We have to give them to a rescue. But I've driven personally myself to Alaska 7 times from my home right in Georgia.
Now wait a minute. You've been to Alaska?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it true that the daylight is like 12 hours or?
Yeah, certain parts of the year it is all daylight. So. With that, people just have to black out whenever they black out to get their sleep. But yeah, I've driven all over the U.S., Canada, across every border, from Seattle, Washington, to Colombia,
to deliver pets,
deliver dogs and cats.
I heard it's a very lucrative industry.
Yes, ma'am. It is.
Wow.
But yeah, I do it all. I mean, I recently ventured into home health care.
Okay.
So I partnered with a doctor, and we're working on that project. I was referencing to a gentleman here that I have a TV show that we're working on called On Fire Mansions and Venues ATL. On Fire Mansions and Venues Miami. On Fire Mansions and Venues Los Angeles. So I've been hitting different spots. We just hit Trick Daddy spot down in Miami the other day. A couple other mansions. Doing Atlanta. A couple different mansions and venues out here in LA next month, and Nevada, and so I do a lot. I have a lot of hats.
When do you rest?
Well, I just drove back in town today.
Really?
And I gotta go to the DJ Waffles thing tonight, Waffles weekend. But I rest all the time. I make sure I get my rest, especially when I'm on the road. I do have some drivers and people. I had about 20 drivers at one time, and I had to get rid of the poisons who were involved and level out the playing field and just restructure, rebuild, and just keep it moving because it's about, to me, it's about my daughter.
Yeah.
A 5-year-old, happily divorced. I am.
Look here, put that in there, like, in case anybody want to know I'm divorced. And you know what, salute to you, because you know, be people out there divorced for 10 years and not really divorced.
Definitely,
okay.
Definitely. Well, yeah, that situation is dead and gone. But outside of that, I have to, give a shout out to all and everybody who always supports the movement, who sees us, who, gets interviews. I've interviewed so many people, even Johnny Cabell.
Yeah, look, I've seen it. I'm like, Johnny, Johnny know everybody.
No doubt. So, but along with producing, engineering, I have music out right now.
Okay.
I have 6 songs. I have an unlimited distribution deal. Shout out to Baghead Distribution for giving me that unlimited distribution deal.
Wow.
The TV show, I'm actually stripping down the audio and releasing it as a podcast as well through their distribution company. Everything has to be monetized.
Yeah.
Yeah, so give and take, even with the planet. We take air, we feel carbon dioxide, the planet gives us air, so every relationship to me has to be nurtured, first of all.
Absolutely.
And outside of that, I just do a lot.
Yeah.
I edit, I shoot, I
You
cook, I clean, I shut up.
All right, now, look, I'm going to say to you, shut up. No, I love that. Listen, I'm excited just to get into some conversation. I know you have a big weekend with DJ Waffles. When we come back, we're going to dive into that weekend, talk about some more K-SWAB things. And why you guys need to make sure that if you have not checked in with K-SWAB, what are you really doing with your career? So, y'all stay locked in. I got to pay some bills. We'll be back in just a second. 101 TK Radio, knocking them out the box. All right. Back in the building, boy, I gotta get them transitions right. They just cut it off like a bad relationship, like I did my ex. Like it just stopped. Like ain't no like, yeah.
No smooth flow.
There ain't no smooth flow, just no Vaseline, nothing I know, just, I guess we'll have to do an afternoon show. Listen, we are back in the building with K-SWAB, on the scene. Kay, you would just tell us about the many different hats you wear, but you also mentioned a very big weekend coming up, which is part of the reason why you're here. So tell me about the whole DJ Waffles experience. What's going on with that? What can we expect?
Well, I know, I recently interviewed DJ Waffles on 2 different stations that I'm on, and I got a chance to meet the gentleman behind the name DJ Waffles. DJ Waffles is definitely for the people. I know tomorrow morning is doing a give back to the kids in the community. Starts around 8 to 10, so it's giving out a lot of stuff for the kids. I'd love to see it when us as the people, realize the responsibility of what you can consider, or some people might consider greatness. And I would say greatness is just being blessed and accepting your blessing and knowing what to do with your blessing. Outside, different people just take things and abuse them. But he's definitely doing a good job doing a lot for the community, a couple of nonprofits, and I just have to salute him and give him his roses, one time, because he's definitely holding it down.
Give him a round of applause.
Yes. Salute.
Sir. So for the weekend, so he's doing the giveaway. What else we got coming up this week?
Well, the giveaway, I'll be playing in the celebrity basketball game.
What position you playing, friend? You
What
ready?
position again, huh?
You know what?
Me and these positions out here. All kinds of positions out here. I probably do, center or forward, shooting guard. I don't know.
Okay.
Or the referee.
Look, hey, that's real right there. Why nobody want to be a referee? It's a safe place to go, especially this age.
Yeah, if I ain't got enough air, I would be like, yo, you get this striped shirt on, and young boys take it. But for the weekend, I know celebrity basketball game. DJ Waffles also has a waffle out, the multi flavors and all this type of stuff. So again, the brother is doing a lot. The entire itinerary for the weekend, I don't know each and every aspect, because again, I just got back in town, and as soon as the weekend is over, I'm just leaving out of town. But I gotta make sure I give a shout out to all my radio partners, because currently on 24 different radio stations, so I program 129 shows a week. So for artists who want rotation and good stuff like that, I get it in, and the numbers are growing. I got to give a shout out to Livewire. They get 10 million in listeners a month. So
now let me ask you a question, and let me put a pause on it, because as a radio station, we always have these conversations.
Yes,
talk about the process. People don't understand how long it takes to build a listener base. So how can you kind of touch on that just a little bit?
Definitely. Well, I say everything comes with work and diligence and follow through. You can have the best plan in the world, but the most important part of your plan is the execution of the plan. So I know, I've seen different radio stations go up, go down, go up, go down. But I've seen, I guess, the behind the scenes, the sitting down and that's in the rooms, that's, you're talking about strategically what needs to be done, the marketing, the advertising, the branding. I got to give a shout out to my PR, Constantly Johnson. She's a billboard lady. She put up billboards all over the U.S. and she did 21 billboards for me for my pet transportation. Wow. She did my daughter's pet transportation company, and the number soared. The phone was jumping. She did the whole East Coast for me. Wow. That was in 2022. That was a very, very big year for my business. But again, with anything in life, it takes consistency. It takes perseverance. You got to be serious about what you do. If it's a hobby, let it be a hobby. Yeah. If it's what you want, I say with every decision you make, pray. Pray. Ask God for direction, for a heart of discernment. Ask Him, for direction. Again, nothing really happens in our time. Because I wanted to be a millionaire 10 years ago.
I'm telling you.
But the situation is, God has His plan, and His plan is undeniable. People, you better realize that some people that you're around in your circle, you might not, God might not bless you with them in your circle for a reason, because He sees the future. He sees, what's going to happen if that person is around you. And again, I'm not saying cut off your homies and stuff like that, but take time for yourself. Me personally, I've I drove how many miles in the last 5 days? 7,000 miles.
That's a lot of time between you and God.
Yeah, so I get to talk, we get to laugh, we get to cry, we get to, and me, the thing about me, I don't listen to any music at all because I have too much on my mind.
That's
People are like, you don't listen.
Because you got so much,
stuff going on.
Downloading constantly downloading.
Yeah, so again, diligence, consistency, perseverance. The only thing you can do wrong is not try at all. Showing up is 50% of the battle. And anything that happens or impacts somebody they consider negatively, please don't take it negatively. It's a challenge. Me personally, I lost my mother on Panola and Covington Highway. Some kid runs through a red light, kills her, and it affected me. And at that time, I turned into a mini monster because I wanted different things to happen. But God's plan is again undeniable. People say to me, how can you talk about it like that now? And like back then, of course, I was, it took 8 police officers and then some to pin me on the wall and pull me to the judge's chamber talking about if anything happened to that young man. And but everything happens for a reason. Everything happens, definitely for a reason. It's outside. Everything's outside of your control. I see a lot of people stress out. A lot of people catch heart attacks. Brain aneurysm. Stress, if you cannot control it, pray over it and let it go. Let go and let God. On that even situation right there, it was tough, definitely tough to deal with. But I'm a walking testimony that God put her in my life for that season, and she didn't do a bad job because the type of person I am, giving knowledge base. I love to give knowledge. Anything in this world you cannot take it with you anyway. All the biggest houses, the diamonds, nothing can come with you. So I'd rather build my mansion in heaven than build the biggest thing down here. And then again, while I'm here, I'm gonna live comfortably.
That part.
Right there.
That part. He said he has abundance. Now he does have abundance on land.
God is good. So it's just people should wake up every day and thank God for another opportunity, another chance. Because anybody listening out there, some people did not wake up today. So think of it like that. So take it as an opportunity to be a better you. And again, people who haven't heard me speak like this before, you don't know.
The layers. Peel back the layers, if you will.
Yes.
But I'm glad that you said that they don't know you, because you do music, but you also do media hosting. And that's a very interesting conversion, because a lot of artists get stuck in just being an artist and don't understand the power of stepping into a media professional light and what that does for your career. So can you just kind of talk about how, when you became a media host, what that kind of did for your music?
Definitely. Well, first, it started off as music as an artist. Then I got sick of the producers who said do it like this and do it like that. So I learned how to produce, and then it became artist, writer, and then producer, engineer, mixer, master. So I had to learn how to do everything and to step into another realm in reference to hosting. It was just another outlet for me to basically fill out what God's plan consisted of. Because a lot of people don't like to get in front of the camera, and people say, "Oh, you want to get in front of the camera?" No. It's a
That's my safest place. I find more joy in front of the camera than just regular conversations. People don't understand. Like, I call my station or my mic my altar.
No doubt.
When you got that mic in front of your hand, you stand there, you lay it all down like nothing matters but that moment right there.
Definitely, that's real. And I tell all artists, man, I did a 12-city tour. Shout out to my PR once again. She put together a 12-city tour for me in 2 weeks, and we hit Biloxi, Mississippi,
Mississippi.
For real?
Yeah, Jackson.
That's what's up. Virginia had a yacht party with Andre Bellows in Chi-Town. She put together a tour in 2 weeks for me when I was relaunching ATLONFIYA, and we gave out 8 distribution deals, magazine placement, billboard placement, cash prizes. And it was enlightening for me to see artists who still didn't know the game. If you got 50,000, 100,000 streams and you don't know what ASCAP or BMI is, then there's a problem.
Somebody is doing you dirty.
I asked this artist, we gave him a distribution deal, him and his team, and I said, well, who's the manager? Because I don't like to step on people's toes.
Right.
And he was like, oh no, we do this ourselves, man. We grind, we in the streets. I said, okay, y'all will ASCAP or BMI? He's like, who? And I was like, well, who's who claimed all the rights to the music that you have out currently? He said, well, what you mean claim the rights?
Oh.
I'm like, do you know what the ISOC code is? Do you know what the UPC code is? He was like, no, what's that? And I said, okay, before we do this distribution deal, we got to do some training.
Yeah, you're going to have to know what you're doing.
Yeah, so these artists, a lot of artists out here today, they think like back in the days of getting the deal. Don't you know the deal is just a life insurance policy?
That's it, alone.
It's just a life insurance policy. And again, a lot of people, us people, don't even know we don't own our last names. So you know what? When the last name that I have dies, it's not. My family might get some life insurance, cool. But the slave owners who created that last name back in 1862 when we were supposedly freed as slaves, they get a bigger check. Think about when Kobe Bryant died.
Yeah.
The last name Bryant is not a slave name. You know, so those people own that name. They think what his wife got some life insurance. No, the people who own that last name,
they got the
and the plan is for them to stay rich, and the rich stay rich, and the poor stay poor, and you know, we're not free. That's why me personally, I've picked entrepreneurship. You know, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I concentrate on multiple streams, and anybody around me, I try to instill in them, you know, nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5. I mean, I've started when I was a collection manager. Yeah, I was a collection manager for 20 years. Then I opened my own collection agency. Then I opened my own law firm, my own tax business. At that time, I was married. Now, again, I'm doing my own logistics company. Home health care at ATLONFIYA.
No, that's right. Why ATLONFIYA?
Well, when I first came to Georgia, it was a big thing with New York against Georgia.
Yeah.
You know, and me personally, I was the mediator. I was the person who's like, bro, we all human. You know what I'm saying? Just like, you know, I see some gangs out there, whatever, but we're all people. We all, you know, put on our pants one leg at a time. We all eat, sleep, and you know what else? Yeah, I know that.
I curse, Melly.
Jesus.
Right.
But yeah, it's just you know, living life to the fullest. You know, concentrating. Everybody needs to write down what your plans consist of. Make some plans and write them down. Don't just kick it with your homeboy and get the people who say, "Oh, that song was the hottest." Get them yes men from around you and go somewhere else. People who are, I've seen a lot of people in Atlanta who are from Atlanta, from Decatur, or behind Decatur. You might want to go somewhere, see something different. Again, I've driven throughout the whole United States, Canada, Alaska. I've seen God's canvas, and it is marvelous. All three of them. Marvelous.
All at the same time, simultaneously. I love that. So in your travels, what are some things that you do, you know, just to keep yourself grounded and centered? You know, I know our relationship with God is priority, is top tier.
Definitely.
But as far as this, dealing with all these contacts and moving around, it can be a lot. It's a lot on your energy.
Definitely.
How do you just take a breather when you're like, you know what, it's a lot?
Well, the best thing that I do, that anybody can do, is concentrate. And it was just mental health awareness last month. Is concentrate on your mental health, because it's energy. It's energy. Again, everything is a relationship. Everybody you come into contact with is a relationship. And with me personally, to get away, I'm in the car, I'm riding. You know, when I leave here, I'm shooting out to Wisconsin, and driving to Cali, and
so that's more than enough time to decompress.
Yeah. So when people run up to me, okay, so I'm like, okay, yeah, let's talk. You know, I used to, I had an album out from 2005 to 2009, an autograph from New York to Miami, and all the FYE stores in every major mall on the East Coast, kissing hands, shaking babies, and there was a lot of energy being taken from me. But when I got a chance to get a break, you know, I just had to power up, you know, like the Mario Brothers, you know. You get that. Yep.
I understand the power of.
And I mean, that's what everybody needs to take time for themselves. Again, praying is very, very good. Even if you think you're not getting an answer, there's so many things that God has brought you through. I mean, I'm looking back, and everything could have been worse. You know, recently there was an accident. I'm driving a car with one of my drivers, and I'm sleeping on the side with my neck pillow. I'm comfortable. I'm keeping it in. I'm probably snoring and everything. And he hits a deer. You know, I'm airbagging, hitting, boop, 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 boop. I'm waking up like, what's going on, bro? You know, I trust you for a little while.
And this one thing, let me go on the bill. You got into an accident, I took care.
Then I was like, you know, I thought about it, and again, it could have been worse. My mother died in a car accident, you know, and I'm like, no, it could have been worse. And then everybody's like, man, you gonna let him drive again? And I'm like, it's not about that. God does His thing His way. It's not gonna be something that you understand. He might tell you to slow down, and you don't listen. He might whisper it. Like, don't you slow down. Then slow down.
And then you get that. I can't do nothing but slow down.
Yeah, then He puts you in your place. And again, nothing is bad that happens to you in life. Again, it's just a challenge, and it's an opportunity for greatness. You know, the pet transportation company I have now, it was already there. You know, I just caught up to my own reality. God already had it waiting for me after my divorce, and He made sure certain people weren't around me to receive what He had for me. So you just gotta and don't walk around with revenge on your heart. I'll tell y'all people one story. I have a homie who 13 years ago, me and him in the club, he gets into an altercation with this gentleman, and you know, I ain't gonna walk around him and walk through you, and they get into love, and I'm like, yo, ain't time for that. 10 years later, my homie, rest in peace, sees this guy downtown, fight on sight.
Really? 10 years later?
No, 3 years later.
3 years later?
Fight on sight. The guy pulls out a gun, shoots him in the head, and lays down on the floor and say, boom. So if you're walking around with animosity, if you're walking around trying to get even with somebody, vengeance is not yours.
It's not yours.
It's not yours. Let go and let God and move on. You know, the energy that you take, and you know who I'm talking to, the energy that you take to try to bring somebody down, get even with them, you know, that same energy, you know, can actually build you up. Remember, when you dig in a hole for somebody else,
you better dig another.
Yeah, make sure you got a pair of those, because you know, God don't like ugly. So those out there who, you know, talk about you, talk about me. I mean, they talked about Jesus, plotting and scheming and trying to, you know, trying to bring you down.
Yeah, that's real.
Only thing you can do is pray for them and thank God for them. You know, then you're like, thank God for them. Thank God for them, because when those forces come against you, it's spiritual warfare anyway. But when those forces come against you, you have to have that inner. I've been prayed up enough, and you know, some events I go to, before I get in the event, I'm like, let me say a prayer. And then when I leave, I say, let me say a prayer, because I don't know what.
You got to release that.
I don't know what spirits was in
Listen,
that place right there.
I'm trying to tell you.
But you ain't coming home with me. You know.
It's a very real thing. You know, the more I get into this industry, and the more I learn myself, and I learn who I am in God. It's like certain rooms, I'm like, the voice gets louder and louder, and I understand you got to set parameters around yourself, because so many people want to touch you and things like that, and you don't know how to get on you. And people just go blindly into situations, and you wonder why you home and you mad, or you have writer's block, or you allow other people's problems to dump on you, and now you're experiencing what they going through. I've seen it.
Definitely. Well, it's just staying focused. You know, maintaining your health, men. You know, go to the doctor.
Yeah.
I'm one.
Get your prostrate straight.
Get your
prostrate straight.
Get that thing straightened out, bro.
Vanilla boss.
No.
Please, I'm sorry. Shout out to Atlanta.
Oh Lord.
Nah,
the home of the Braves.
Right.
Okay.
No, you gotta get yourself checked. Take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself. And again, I could probably speak it better than I follow it, but I need to do the same and make sure, you know, I'm following, you know, what I, you know, practice what you preach, per se, practice what you preach. So, it's good. It's good to be here.
It is.
And that's another layer y'all haven't heard. You know, I hope I can get a recording of this one of these days.
You absolutely can. Right when you leave it, I got you. Say less. So for you, what's coming up next outside of this big weekend? How can our listeners and followers get in touch with you? What's the best way if someone's like, you know what, K-SWAB, I was inspired by what you said. I just want to connect with you. How can they get in your space?
Well, you can always check out, again, the IG, of course, the ATLONFIYA, that's ATL on Fire. The website, www.atlonfiya.com. Other than that, I do, have another page, K-SWAB for Life.
I was wondering if you had one. Okay.
Yeah, and that is, I answer, I follow back, ever reach out to me and say, pray for me. Well, boy, you gonna get that prayer. I'm driving.
You better ready to change whatever in your life is. Don't be wasting my prayer.
And then when I need prayer too.
I'm gonna need that energy back.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
As it returns, like, let's get it back, But to reach out to me, a lot of people go through my PR. That's Royalty of the North, ROTN_PLP Network on Instagram. She handles a lot of scheduling. Also, Mama Donna, shout out Mama Donna. She be scheduling up for me too. But again, I'm not hard to find. I don't have people enemies, because I don't go around looking for a bad time or trying to hurt nobody. I'm straight. I am the security in the room. I am the one who's gonna make sure just knock it off. Because some people again hadn't woke up this morning, and then if you put yourself in a situation where now people are looking at you or looking after you, like I tell people, you can't be a drug dealer all your life.
You know what I'm saying?
Not all your life. Just
expire at some point.
So hit it hard and then redirect the funds.
Hello. Or put them in the one-on-one to get ready. Listen, that's not my business. That's not my business. Okay, you want money, well, give a little money. Listen, well, it's been a pleasure to sit down with you. I am sure this will not be the only time. I just feel like we're going to connect again. Let me know when you're back in the city again. If you have any projects and you want to come just chop it up. We are all about keeping those connections and making those affiliations and relationships are the new currency. So I'm looking forward to it. So any last shout outs, any last words you want to get out there, please?
Y'all check Colfax, Louisiana, ATLONFIYA and PLP Network is doing a rap and Southern Soul on the 30th, 31st, and 1st. Any artists want to tap in. Outside of that, any artist who needs rotation, when an artist hit me up and say they want some rotation, and I ask them, my first question is it media based, BDS ready? And then I say I'll play it for a week for nothing. They be like, okay. Then I say go check your DTR report. They be like, somebody playing my
it's actually registered.
So, but shout out to again my team. Shout out to God. Shout out to my baby daughter Skylar. Skylar, Daddy loves you forever and ever and ever and ever. And rest in peace, my mom, my grandma, and again everybody on the team. Again, there's too many to call. And it's actually, but the circle is very small.
I feel you.
But yeah, I'd like to give you a shout out. I'd like to give you your roses. I've looked at what you were doing, what you're into, and you getting it in.
Thank you.
And you're positive, and you're making people look up to you. What advice would you give somebody who's was aspiring station owner, man? Let me interview you.
You know what I would say. You know what? I have not been asked that in so long. What would I say? Buy a lot of weed. No, I would say immerse yourself in it so deep that you have no choice but like put yourself in a situation where you can't give up.
Definitely.
That's the only way you're gonna experience it.
Definitely. Well, I didn't mean to reverse the role.
I know. I'm like, God, I'm asking the questions around. No, but I love that. I appreciate that. So once again, it's been a pleasure to sit down and talk with you. I look forward to connecting. Anytime in the city, definitely let us know. Thank you guys for tuning in. Y'all know what time it is. It's your girl, I Am Chelsea Speaks. Coming up next, don't forget, we got the Green Room with 450 Panda. His show is tonight from 8 to 10 p.m., so make sure y'all stay locked in. Then tomorrow, of course, it's Female Fridays. My girl, the Big Skills, the big one, not the little one, is on the Flavor with Skills, 12:30 to 3:30 every Friday. Like she said, like that. Y'all say like that.
New
York in there. And shout out to all of our shows on 101 TK Radio and our new show that we just added. Let's talk about it. And then my guy Johnny Cabell, my business partners, Nelson Cruz. Y'all know how it is. Love y'all. Stay out. 101 TK Radio, knocking them out the box.
All right.